I think this is a first for a lot of people, seeing the Echo mounted into the wall. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Setup Addicts episode number 9, recorded live on May 11, 2019. I'm Matt Philly, and today we have some very interesting setups. I can tell you at least 4 of them are really awesome. Also, it's worth noting that if you want to check out any of the products featured in today's setups, go on over to setupaddicts.com/EP9 or just go to setupaddicts.com. You'll see it there on the front page. The first setup specifically, I'm sure a lot of you are going to have questions, so definitely check out the website to see all of the products. With that said, let's get into the first and craziest setup of the day, submitted by Ricardo, who's 37 from Florida. You set it for gaming, video editing, and productivity. Now, this right here already looks crazy. Just, I mean, everything from what seems to be called the game room over here with a simulator, cockpit simulator, then the wall-mounted PC, all of the cars, everything on display here. You have all of the, I would assume this is VR stuff over here. And then you have guitars, you have Nanoleaf, you have very nice looking chair. A typical Alex Lindman sort of setup, but obviously some modifications here to really kind of make it work. But, you know, you have the desk riser still from IKEA. Very simple, straightforward stuff, but because of the lighting and just the overall, you know, attention to theme and detail and cleanliness, this is mind-boggling. Now, of course, the overall blue light, night light sort of vibe adds to that, but I'm sure it still looks just as epic in the daytime. But it's also worth mentioning, not only are there IKEA things, like these are IKEA shelves and so on and so forth, he also has, I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm a little out of it today. He has a single monitor. Now, it is an ultra wide, and we talked about this in the last episode and really every episode, but having one monitor makes life that much easier. Literally, one monitor. Yes, for a lot of people like myself, I can't get away with one monitor, but if you can, look at the cleanliness. It just makes moving things around that much easier. I don't think I see any speakers, like, you know, standard typical speakers, but still just an absolutely beautiful photo. But it doesn't stop there, because when you look from the other angle, he has a projector screen set up, and he also has this gaming station, you know, basically symmetrical, everything's the same. Pretty overkill. Now, this is where people this is why people don't really care for me, because I have to always point out certain things. But how do you actually play this? Do you have to sit on the floor? If so, I just imagine my back killing me. Yeah, I just think that there's I don't know, I don't see anything that would really, I think these things maybe, but I guess you pull them over. You don't see anything here. You don't see it here. This, I'm thinking maybe you pull these over. I would assume so, but let's not get ahead of ourselves because there's a lot more to talk about. So he has this whole station, then he has his futon. Love the posters with the frames, the really nice IKEA lights and everything. I would love to know what the purpose of the projector is, because with it not being centered, I know this is me nitpicking, but it also just seems out of place, and I'm not really sure what the benefit is here. Like, if I'm at the desk, I can't see that. If I'm playing here and sitting on the floor, I think I'm focused on this. And if I'm on the futon, I don't think I would be. I think I'm more so confused of what the actual purpose is. So I would love to know what he does with this, and I think that would answer a lot of questions. But if we keep going through, look at this. Really, like, pay attention here, because this is an Echo. I think this is a first for a lot of people, seeing the Echo mounted into the wall. Like, I can understand mounted like against the wall, but mounted in the wall? Interesting. Same with a tablet sort of thing over here. I don't know, this is probably for controlling lights and so on and so forth, but mounted in the wall. Hopefully they don't update things, because I think this is already out, like, technically this is outdated. They've already released a new Echo, so on and so forth, but not a big deal. I'm just trying to be funny, I guess. And yeah, this room looks really cool, but I guess this is only for VR, because we don't really see a screen or anything like that. So I guess he just sits in there, kind of gets immersed, throws the goggles on that we see over here, the HTC Vive. That would be a lot of fun though. And I love that this is what I would assume is just typically a closet. For him to, turn it into that is pretty epic. So really, really awesome. And that's all the photos we have. But I mean, just such a cool vibe, very clean, and it's just futuristic. I think if you were to take someone from like the early 1900s and bring them back to life and throw them here, they'd be like, whoa, like this is what I've missed. But really, when you break it down to its core and we forget about this stuff and you just look at this part of it, it's a very simple desk setup. So yeah, guys, just think about it. Accessories, colors, lights, things like that can make or break your setup. And as you can see here, completely changed it. Just having a little bit of his theme come through, anything that's like colorful and bright, really completely transform his setup. So something to take away from this is you can have a very simple setup and still make it appear as if it's just this like insane expensive place. Because really, with all this being IKEA, it's really not that expensive compared to if he was to get some like, stuff from a complete different store. It's going to be, the price is just going to be insane. So amazing setup. Great job making use of all the different possible accessories and such. Really great. Let's go on now to the next setup of the day, submitted by Nathan, who's 17, also from Florida. You set it for gaming, light editing, and schoolwork, and he's been working on growing his setup for the past year and a half, and he plans on keep going to make it even better. Now, this is one of the a little more underwhelming setups, not to take away from what he's done, but really, he's kind of like in a situation where the walls are heavily textured and the color's a little blech, and I mean, specifically having this one red wall and then the rest aren't. And it's not the nicest looking thing I've ever seen. I like that he did this. Still feels like it's lacking something here. Something in the corner would look really nice, I think. Something bright and big, maybe even red or something hanging from there would be awesome. But it's hard because you look at this and then you go here and you want to be like, oh, this isn't that cool. But if you break it down and really look at it, it's extremely clean. It's extremely to the point. The speakers are actually like proper. He's doing everything right. He's got a slight angle in the monitors. He's got headphones mounted underneath. If you hate on this, it's more so just because you don't think it's like expensive and poppy and like, all sorts of crazy. But really look at it. It's pretty epic. It really is. And considering he's only 17, I don't think there's really anything wrong with this. I think he did a great job, and he's making use of what he has. I don't really see any faults in it. I just think it's really surrounding area. If he was to like have nice, clean, fresh gray walls or something, this setup would also look 10 times better just by doing that. And if he was to have something big up here, like he's in the chat and he's saying he's planning on wall mounting a TV. If he had a TV that was nice, very close to the bottom of this, thin bezels, like again, these are things that a lot of people who don't study the setup would just be like, oh my God, it looks that much better. So seriously, break it down. It's clean. This is a clean workspace. The cables underneath, managed. Everything is, I mean, look at this. This is textbook. I don't think that you can really say this is a bad setup because there's not, I don't know what you would say is wrong with it. I think you did a great job, honestly. So Nathan, amazing job on your setup. But yeah, I would just love to see the next evolution of it. The next thing you do, like the next big thing. So the TV, definitely would love to see an updated photo of that. But there's not a lot to critique. But I did want to show it off because it meets all, like it checks all the boxes, but some people would just say that it's underwhelming. Also, I had the same issue before in one of my other rooms. You should probably just get like a floor pad or something to go there just to kind of save your wood floor. But when the time comes, you could throw a little bit of stain on there and kind of get the color back. But very nice setup. Let's move on to the next setup of the day, submitted by Matt, who's 20 from Slovenia. You set up for digital art and occasional gaming. Now, this is the last, not that I would say this is like a bad setup, but the rest of the setups are like a little bit crazier. So let's just quickly check this one out. The reason I included it is because I think it's a little more realistic. Most people are kind of rocking stuff like this. For me, I would say this is how, when I would go over like a friend's house and they have a desk this is more what it looks like, because they're not into like setups and really like, you know, anal about all the little things with their setup. This is just like a very simple, basic setup. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I would say that nothing really blows me away. I think the speakers are a little too close to the monitor. The monitor's a little underwhelming. And of course, these are things you could upgrade. So it's not really like a negative. It's just, these are things that I think people would point out as not liking. Of course, activating Windows is always a good idea. But really, this just kind of feels a little more like a work, like you're in a cubicle with like, oh, here's my plan. I'm going to put a picture on the wall. Got my little lamp, and it's just kind of, it feels a little more like sterile, officey. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're going for, then you did a great job. But, you know, I would just kind of clean up the shelves a little bit. Maybe come up with a theme in terms of like color, because this kind of against this wall color with this basic wood, and there's a lot of different clashing wood finishes here. So I don't know, there's no real color theme. It's just kind of like bland. And I think that's the issue. There's nothing over here. I don't know. It's not bad by any means. I just think it's it's like straightforward, simple. Not bad. I feel like I'm not really giving a lot, but you know, it's a little messy. It's a little underwhelming. And I think the cable management could definitely be better, but it's not terrible. Just gotta kind of clean this part up a little bit. The rest is pretty good. And yeah, let's go on to the next setup of the day. Submitted by Alex, who's 13 from Queens. Use setup for gaming, schoolwork, and part-time streaming. Now this one is technically, it's simple, right? But look, the color, the foam, just the little stuff on the shelf, I think completely transforms this setup and makes it look that much better. You know, he could have easily just put red on everything, but because he didn't, it just looks cool, like from the RGB here, but then a hard blue down here. His monitors, you know, what I like about this is this isn't like the best, nicest monitor in the world ever, but putting it vertical, making use of it, it looks awesome. I really like it. And I think considering he's in a corner and there's not a lot you could do with that, exceptional job. Craziest part of it is that he's 13. You know, when I was 13, I've tweeted photos of it before. Oh yeah, I had an interesting setup, to say the least. Now I don't know if this desk gets in the way of your closet door, but I'm sure maybe it's a double door or something. That would be one of my only concerns. Maybe kind of work on this a little bit. I think adding more would be nice. Take these out of the box. I mean, come on. They're not going to be worth anything unless you got some special value one. I think it looks better without the box. And I think when you add a little bit more to this shelf, it'll fill out a little bit more and look nicer. But it's just clean, you know, and you check things off. It's not like you didn't put things into it. You have a headphone stand, so you're utilizing that desk space, but at the same time, your desk is clean. Underneath is extremely clean. I like that the Xbox is here. It has room to breathe. I like that you don't have, you know, all your cables just shoved up right here. Like you did a great job. The floor is spotless. For 13, this is next level. Great stuff. I have nothing to really critique on it other than just, I think, expand upon it down the road. And really, if you were to keep it like this for the next like 2-3 years, I think it's perfect. So not bad at all. And I think your cable management plays a big part in that. Next setup of the day is submitted by Jason, who's 50 from Ohio. You set up for gaming. He was totally inspired to redo everything by the show, and also by spilling margarita on his computer. After rebuilding, he decided to redo the whole setup. It's still in progress, but he thought he would show it to us now. So this setup is very cool. I really like it. Now, he didn't originally send a daytime photo, but I thought it was necessary to see it in the daylight. But I'll show you one of the nighttime photos. That's really cool. That is really cool. So just an awesome little office to kind of, I mean, he games, but I would assume he could also just like watch videos and browse the internet and just kind of do it with, you know, enjoying every aspect of it, because he has such a nice clean setup. Very personal. You know, not a lot of people are going to go ahead and copy everything that he did. So taking a look at the actual monitors and stuff, one thing I always recommend to people, especially with very large monitors above, flip it over. If you actually completely flip it upside down, you lose this big logo bezel at the bottom. and then you have a thinner bezel. And by doing so, in Windows, you could actually just rotate the display. So it'll still look completely normal, but you don't have to be looking at this in between the two displays. Also, sometimes the button to turn the monitor on is actually, like, I know on a lot of the LG ultra wides, they actually have like a little toggle button underneath the logo. And so if you hang it up like this, you can't actually press the button at all. So flipping it over, you could touch the button up here at the top with no problem. Also, I usually say close the gap here, just makes things a little bit nicer, and usually tilt it forward. It looks like you did tilt it forward though, so I'm assuming it works, because you wouldn't keep it like that, long term if it was hard to look at. And then I really like this main monitor here with the curve and everything, very clean. You got a wireless charger, controller. I'm sure that the controller is used pretty often, considering you use it for gaming, but always having a controller stand makes it look that much cleaner, and you kind of like move the cable around. But what I like is you showed us a picture of how you're actually using it. You didn't try to like clean up every little aspect just for the photo. And really, I just think that you did a good job with adding a lot of your own stuff, and it is very straightforward. There's not a lot going on. I don't see speakers or anything like that. Like, yeah, you have headphones over here, but it's straightforward. Not much to really critique. I love the countertop look with the Alex drawers, support legs, very nice. He did say that, I believe he said he was working on his cable management. So all this stuff, I would definitely just kind of tidy up. But for the most part, I think he just kind of did a great job. And I saw this now. I'm assuming over to the right side, you have yourself a pretty nice TV with this nice sound system over here. So yeah, I mean, this seems like a nice place to hang out. Just enjoy yourself. So great job. I don't have much else to say. I feel like I'm kind of a letdown today, but really, look at this. It's pretty straightforward, pretty clean. Not bad at all. Next and final set of the day, submitted by Gavin, who's 32 from Singapore. He's set up for gaming, work, and editing, and he's recently gotten his own house. And he's going to revamp. Well, he did revamp the setup, and he also did some improvements. Taking a look at this. Now, we've not seen a lot of speakers today, right? Well, now we have a whole sound system with what looks like an extremely expensive DAC or something. That looks like somebody's suitcase, and they're going away to Europe for like, a month. That probably sounds so clean. And sitting right there probably makes your left leg go numb, I would assume. So yeah, this setup is arguably too simple for some people, but for him, I think it's perfect. Gaming, he's got his monitor right there. Nice peripherals. I love that keyboard. Boom, done, easy. Same, actually, no, not same mouse. Close though, almost same mouse. And then working, there's no distractions. There's nothing that would get in his way. Single monitor, again, makes his life so much easier. Imagine trying to fit a second monitor or third monitor without going above. And then editing, again, very straightforward. He has nothing to worry about. This is a clean setup. He's got his hub mounted over here, and his cable management is just, I mean, look at this. This, again, textbook. Today, we've had some really, really amazing cable management and attention to detail, and this is just a great setup. There's not a lot to talk about, but I thought I just had to show it. So great. Of course, being the person I am, there's a lot I would still do to this. I think you can keep this whole portion, literally the whole desk, just keep it the way it is, and then work on adding stuff above and kind of like little pops of color, and just some lights would look insane here. I think behind the monitor, around the desk, nano leaf, it could look amazing. I don't know what you actually have above though, because I'm almost like 85, 90, okay, like 99% sure that those are like nano leaf, the little panel that connects to all the tiles. I don't know if anyone can confirm. I'm almost positive. I don't remember the little tabs being there. That might be something he did, but I'm almost positive that is nano leaf. So if it is, it might be a little too high, but then that leaves room for you to do something cool here. I can understand though, a lot of people, the reason they don't do things like LEDs and things on the wall is because when they are working, they don't want to be distracted. So if that's the case, by all means, that works for you. I'm just kind of saying it how other people would look at it. And man, that looks really good. So there we go. I think that is it for this episode. I tried to be somewhat thorough while also kind of cutting down on time. Looks like I'm at about 20 minutes, so I don't know how I did. But that is it for this episode. Make sure you go to setupaddicts.com/EP9 to go check out all the products featured in today's episode. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. All the social media, everything you need to know is down below here. Submityoursetup.com if you want to be on it. Chat in our Discord, Facebook group, tweet at us. I don't know, like us on Instagram, whatever. Okay, with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente.